Alright, what's up guys, welcome back to the TK Tech video, and this is TEMU Haul Part 2. I had a bit of fun last time with it, so I thought I'd do it again. And this time I'll try and do a better job at finding gadgets that are actually useful. So let's just browse and see what we can find. Alright, so let's start off small. See, this is kind of cool. A little bit of a kind of campaign keychain utility light, I guess. Could be useful, clip it onto your bag. I don't know, maybe help you find your AirPods when you drop them in the dark, who knows. Speaking of finding things, you know what? I actually do need like a GPS kind of tracker. Oh, maybe something like this. Smart tracking finder for Apple devices, real-time location. This one looks good. All right, let's add that to cart. I want to try and incorporate some more home tech into this video, so let's see if we can find anything. Oh, what about a sewing machine? Do I know how to sew? No. But that's why you get a sewing machine. I can nearly guarantee that there's going to be user error in this, but we'll try it out anyway. Sticking with the home theme, let's get some kitchen gadgets. That could be good. AccuMeasure digital kitchen scale spoon, plastic LCD display, 0.1 gram, 500 precision, battery powered with ideal cooking. Every description in the title. Perfect. So now you don't have to put anything on a scale. You can literally weigh it as you scoop it. £2.20. Crazy. Alright, add to cart. Now I do always like some light gadgets, so let's see if there's anything that we can get. Oh, this could be good. A little light bar, add some mood lighting to your room. Yeah, why not? Let's get that as well. Oh, this is cool. Not exactly the lighting I was looking for, but technically there is a light on it. High quality waterproof speaker. Now this could be good if you want to listen to a podcast while you shower or something. Sure, why not? Let's get it. Sticking to the light theme, actually, we're going into summer now, so let's get some solar powered lights. My experience with these are actually always quite dim. I've actually always wanted to put something like this in front of my house, in front of the door, as like a security light. Now, if I don't have to connect this to the mains or replace the batteries, this makes it ideal, so let's try it out. Sticking with the solar powered theme, I've actually seen these a few times and I wondered if they actually work. Let's get ourselves a solar powered foldable power bank thing. I mean this one's saying 35 watts. That's crazy. That's like fast charging speed. But doubt it will work, but let's try it out anyway. Okay, so I wasn't actually looking for this, but you can't tell me if this doesn't look cool. Modern square LED silent alarm clock with weather, temperature and humidity display. How the hell does it know the weather? Alright, we'll get it. Actually, speaking of clocks, you know those old school flipper board clocks? Yes, this is what I'm just talking about. They're like manual digital clocks in a way. This is actually quite expensive for TEMU. £24. That's like, what is it, like 30 something dollars? Let's get it in black. Although this is supposed to be, a video for you guys, I am paying for these, so I am also going to try and get stuff that I need. And I do need a portable vacuum cleaner, just to clean, little quick cleaning that I need to do around the place. Wait, how well does something that's £8 even work? Okay, let's try that out. What about these? These are cool. Portable blender. Just in case you've got enough time to chop up the fruit, put it in a bottle, but not enough time to blend it and pour it in a cup, then you can just chop up the fruit, put it in a bottle and take that bottle with you and blend it on your way to somewhere. Seems like a good concept, but if you actually think about it, I don't think it would really work. We're not going to know until we try it out, so add to cart. Alright, so let's try and stop wasting money, try and at least get something that's actually useful, even though that was supposed to be the intention of this video from the start. Okay, what about this? Little portable, what is this, a pump? Imagine having a whole car tire pump in the back of your trunk or in a bag even, or you could use this to pump your bike. Well, there you go. Car. Oh wow, it can actually go to 36 psi, so that's the real deal. All the way up to 150 psi, that's crazy. Let's add that to cart. Wow, okay, so if anyone wanted to see what wasting money actually looks like, perfect example of it here. Where, if you think about it, we're saving £347, so getting it for under £100, arguably making money. Alright, so let's check out, and the next time you see me, I should have, hopefully, all of these. Okay, so everything seems to have arrived in one piece, more or less. So let's get an unboxing. Let's start off with the easier ones because, we can ease our way into it. So this is the multi-utility keychain light. This is what it looks like. It's actually quite a big LED. Well, it's not one LED, it's a bunch of multiple LEDs. And it's flashing on camera, but it doesn't flash in real life. It's actually quite bright as well, for the size that it is. So it's definitely functional. And you can see it is a very bright LED. It's got a dimmable mode and the strobing flashing mode in case you want to give someone a seizure. It's pretty bright. Now it charges via USB-C, which is great. It's not rated as waterproof, but it's got these rubber buttons for both the charging port and the power button. So it might be able to withstand, some water. It's plastic design, so I would have preferred it to be metal, to be honest with you. So it's a plastic design, but it's a thick plastic, so it's not going to break. This part's metal, so this can easily hook onto like a bag. So it's really good if you just want to hook it onto like a part of the bag, and you can have that with you at all times. Now, it actually also comes with the stand, so you can set it down, different angles. And you can also, you've got a magnet here. Want to just stick it to something magnetically, like outside when you're camping, you can do that as well. And just for good measure, it comes with a bottle opener. So honestly, for the price that it is, easy recommendation. Probably good for everyone to have, tucked away somewhere. Now this next one, I'm actually quite, keen to check out, because this is way bigger than I thought it would be. This is a digital weighing spoon. You don't need to, I guess, put it on a scale. It can actually measure up to 500 grams, which is a lot. If you're American and you don't use a metric system for some reason, then that's what 500 grams is. And it's one of those little button batteries. So you can actually measure in different units as well. So you've got grams, which is what most people should be using. And then you've also got ounces. And then you've got other two that I have no idea what they are. Here's some flour. Make sure it's at 0. And you just grab the amount of flour you need. And as you can see, I've got 1.35 ounces. Now I can change that to grams, which is 38 grams. If you click the hold button, it locks it at that weight. So then you can pour the ingredient into whatever you want to pour it into, and you can still read the weight. So let's see what else you can use it for. Weighing tea leaves, weighing coffee, that's good, I guess. Weighing seasonings, okay. And weighing medicinal materials. Not sure how many people are weighing their medicinal materials, but if you are, you've got another way of doing it. Now the good thing about this is actually you can take off the spoon and wash this separately, and this stays clean. You know what? I'm actually kind of surprised with myself. I was able to choose something that wasn't a complete waste of money. I really like this. Alright, next is the electric pump. Now, I've already unboxed it, but I lost the video for that, so I'm reshooting it without the box, so apologies because I threw that one away. This is basically a pretty powerful electric pump. It's battery powered. It comes with the main body and the hose pipe thing, I guess. The great thing about it is that it's obviously USB-C charged, and it can actually go to really high PSIs. Apparently I think up to 150, and typical car tire is like 36 up to like maybe 42. You've also got the additional attachments, so you can pump up other things like inflatables and balloons. It's pretty straightforward to use. You just power it on, and you've got a pretty standard LED display of the main menu options. So at the moment it's set for car, but you can also change it to like infinite, bicycle, and like for balls and other inflatable things, I guess. Now the great thing about it, apart from the fact that it's flashing on my camera, is that you can change the pressure unit. So you can, right now it's in bars, but you can change that to PSI, kilopascals, and kilogram per centimeter squared. Now I've got an electric scooter, so I'm going to set it to bicycle mode, and those tires take a PSI of 36. So we're going to set it to that, and we'll see if we can pump it up from flat. Now I know this is actually a small tire, but it still needs 36 PSI, which is the same as for most cars. And actually some cars go to a little bit more, like 40, 42 PSI. But in terms of the actual pressure, it is the same as a typical car tire. So let's deflate this and see if we can get it back up. Alright, so that's fully flat, as you can see. I can easily press into this, no problem. So let's hook this up. And remember, we're setting it to 36 PSI. We're at 0 PSI at the moment, apparently. And there we go, it stops at 36, dead on. And now it's rock hard, like it should be. Before I got this, I actually used to use this kind of hand pump one, which is nice and compact and has a pressure gauge here. You can imagine this is much harder to use, difficult to get it exactly at the right PSI that you want, and also takes longer. The fact that this is so compact and so small means you can easily keep it in a car, and honestly, another easy recommendation to make. For some reason though, actually it has a torch as well, so there's an SOS button. So if you click that, you do have a light, maybe if you're like stuck on the street or something. And if you want to impersonate a police officer and get arrested for it, you have these strobing lights as well. Alright, so now let's look at the juicing cup. It's not a juicer, it's actually a blender, and it's not a cup, it's a bottle. So, 2 out of 2 wrong. Now, I don't really know who this is aimed for. I mean, unless you are literally going camping or something like that, and you want a battery-powered blender and you can't miss a day of your juice cleanse, then I guess it could be good for you. As a bottle, it's actually quite nice. It's got a nice colour to it. That's the lid. Obviously, it's going to have a quite big opening just in case you've got any like smoothie bits. And this is the blender. Now the blender, it's got a battery level and you can do different speeds depending on what you want to blend. Bottle is quite easily cleanable, I guess, and so is the blade. Now, fortunately, you can't turn it on while the bottle is open, which is good because otherwise this would become a weapon. So only when the bottle is closed, it actually blends. There's a timer on it. And the second you open it, it stops automatically. Alright, so to test this out, I've got some strawberries and bananas. We'll make a quick milkshake. So we can just open this up from here. Add in our strawberries and bananas. Okay, you know what, this is not going to work. Add in our strawberries and bananas. This fits way less than I thought it would. Let's add in our milk. And that's done, and that looks really nice. I didn't add any sugar because I thought the strawberries would be sweet enough. Now the whole point of that is a bottle and you shouldn't need to pour it out, but just so we can see the consistency. And there you go, that is actually a really nice strawberry and banana milkshake. But I still don't really see when I'm gonna need to do this in public or out and about, but it does work, is what I can say. Now this is one of the more expensive items on TEMU, and it's probably gonna be one of the least useful ones here, but you can tell it's more expensive because it's actually got quite a nice cardboard box to it. This is that flippy digital manual clock thing. Oh wow. It's definitely bigger than I thought it would be. It's a digital face, right? But it runs manually. So it's not got a screen. It's got these satisfying flips that it does to tell the time. So let's get one of these batteries in it. And now it should be ticking. And it makes a very slight sound, but you can barely hear it when it's running. And to set the time, you literally just flip through these. So it's definitely a cool little desk toy to have. It's nice to flip through, and sometimes it's nice just to have a little bit of craft put into your clocks. But I mean, as a gift, I would get it. It's just kind of like an impulse buy because it looks cool. But there's not really much else to say about it. There's not much tech that goes into it. But you know, it looks cool. If we're going to stick to the clock theme, there's this one, which I'm a little bit skeptical about. This is the transparent one that can do the weather and humidity and all of that. I mean, it's definitely transparent. Just needs a couple of AAA batteries. And bam! It lights up. Well, it's not really lighting up, but you know. Now it's quite weird because you can actually only see it clearly from specific angles. If I tilt it too much, you can't actually see it. So regardless of like what month you put it, it still has the same sun and clouds. Let me have a quick read of this to see actually how it's supposed to tell me the weather. It does have a humidity sensor. So the humidity is 55%. That's actually quite humid. And the temperature is 25 degrees Celsius. So these, apparently it does actually have the sensors for. But it does say here, since there is no atmospheric pressure sensor, the weather condition is for reference only. In other words, this doesn't really tell you the actual weather right now, which is kind of dumb. Why put it? What is the point of that? I mean, I guess the temperature and the humidity are useful features, but don't get this. So that takes us swiftly on to the solar panel category. So these are, well, this is the solar panel external light. It's actually much smaller than I thought it would be. You know when you buy these solar panel lights on like these Chinese websites, I promise you they're like half the size that I make them seem in the images. So always you know, take that into account. It's got a small solar panel here, so you know it's not going to charge up super quickly, but if you only need this to be used for a couple of seconds at night time, each time you go to the door, open the door or something like that, then it should be okay. It's got 2 holes for you to drill it into wherever you want to drill it, and actually it's got quite a few LEDs. Now I don't know how bright they're going to be, we'll test that out in a bit, but you know, this could be potentially quite bright. Okay, so this light has a motion sensor and a light sensor, so you can't turn on during the daytime, and at night it will activate with motion. So if I move, wow, it is quite bright. I mean, obviously it's fully charged now, so whether it's able to maintain that charge is a different matter, depending on, I guess, how you have the weather. But for something that I guess is a standalone, off-the-grid kind of system, where you can just drill it into a wall and have it there, it's pretty bright. You're definitely going to be able to, like, you know, find your keys, put it in the door. So to give you guys a sense of how bright this thing would be at night time, turn it on, as you can see, with it on and with it off, massive difference. Alright, so we're sticking to the solar panel theme, And this is, well, looks like a bag to be honest. But what it's supposed to be is like a portable solar panel charger to use in emergencies. Now, they're probably not going to be the most efficient solar panels. It comes with some screws if you really wanted to make it permanent, and these hooks so you can hook onto like a backpack or a suitcase potentially, or on top of a tent or something like that, so that's practical. But there's no battery in this, so there's one output and it's got a normal USB output on one side, or you can even do a direct USB-C, USB-C connection, or USB-C to anything else really on the other side. So let's wait for a day that's a little bit sunnier and we'll test it out. So trying this outside, we can open it up and plug it in into the USB-C port. And actually, as you can see, when you plug it into the phone, it comes up with a warning to basically indicate that it's quite a slow charger. You know? And actually, this cable actually is able to monitor the input in terms of watts. It's 2.1 watts, which is quite slow. If you think about the old Apple charging brick, that used to be 5 watt charging. So you can see that this is actually quite a bit lower than that. But in an emergency situation, it could be quite useful. So next up is the super duper handheld sewing machine. That is to the point, portable and cordless. And then we have, I don't know who Maribeth Hoyt is. I mean, it's definitely small. Oh wow, it is small. I've got some other stuff, and here are, I'm assuming, the threads. Now, what's quite interesting is that you not readily buy threads like this, so not that I know of at least. So where you can get these kind of replacement threads, I'm not sure. Maybe you can ask Maribeth Hoyt. Ta-da! And not complicated at all. Now, I guess the idea is that the needle will enter the fabric and then bring it back out. And then hopefully that should have made one stitch. I've got some fabric here, and I'm not the kind of guy who just has fabric laying around, so I did have to destroy a tote bag for this. So we'll just start off with this one layered fabric and see how it works. So try not to puncture your hand. And they've all come out apart from here. Let's try that again. That might just be user error. It has worked. It does look like a good stitch. Now what we have to try and do actually to make sure it works is try and sew the fabric together. Well, I mean, it definitely sealed. Well, not really actually. I'll be honest with you. Regardless of how well it stitches, even if it did stitch really well, you have no control because you have to hold this. And so it's very difficult to manipulate the other piece of fabric with one hand. I mean, it was on TV at one point, I'm assuming, so see if Maribeth Hoyt can teach you how to use it. Alright, so let's go back to something simple. This is the Smart Tracker. So kind of like the Apple Smart Tag or the equivalent from Samsung. It's a, I think, single use because there's no kind of like battery opening section. Oh, no, it's not a single use. There you go. Well, I don't know if you're supposed to, but it does have a button battery. This is supposed to be your kind of GPS tracker. Oh, there you go. It's beeping. It comes with an app, so let's see if we can make this work. I don't know why it needs to record my audio. You don't. You don't need to record my audio. So it's picked up this device. Let's get it connected to it. You can activate the alarm, and you can set it to automatically ring the alarm when the Bluetooth is disconnected. This makes me feel like it's actually not like a GPS tracker. I think as long as it's nearby to your device, you can get like a location for it, but I don't know if it would actually let you find the location if it was disconnected to you and far away. We can definitely try that out. As you can see, if I start moving away from the phone, it will disconnect from Bluetooth. And now it's starting to ring. So what it can tell you is not exactly where it is, but it can tell you where it last was when it got disconnected from your device. So it can give you that, and you can actually go to your lost history, and it can give you the locations of each time that it was disconnected from your phone. However, it actually does the opposite, where it can help you find the device. So if you've lost your device and it's within Bluetooth connection of this, actually double clicking this, rings the alarm on your phone. But like I said, this is only really within Bluetooth range, so there's some use to it. I mean, it is quite cheap. You can just grab it onto keys, but to be honest, my keys aren't always with my phone, so I wouldn't want to put it on my keys, so it's not really that useful for me. I need something that can independently track its location, and it doesn't need to be connected to another device, so I'm gonna have to pass on this one, unfortunately. Alright, next up should be something a little bit easier to use, and that is, as they like to bluntly point out, a vacuum cleaner for dual use family and cars. Now this is a little bit smaller than I thought it would be. It looks much bigger in the images. Oh, that's cute. You got little various attachments. So this is actually the vacuum part. Ooh. It's quite a small filter system, so I don't imagine this to be super powerful. Apparently it's got a HEPA filtration, but then this has HEPA. So which one is it? Because HEPA and HEPA aren't the same thing. It's a 25-watt vacuum, so not the super strongest. If you think of it like a Dyson, that's like over like 200 watts, I think. And yeah, you can either have a brush or a big brush. So you're baking, you know, you've weighed out your 30 grams of flour and oh no, you spilt a little bit. I'm not sure what nozzle's the best here, but I mean, flour should be the easiest thing to pick up, right? Shall we try it without the bristles? I feel like the bristles are putting a little of a barrier. There we go. Testing out the suction. Not gonna lie, it is quite weak. But I think for like the car or just for like, you know, little crumbs and stuff around the house, it could be okay. I wouldn't really be using this to deep clean like a carpet, but you know, the size makes it really easy and compact enough to use. So I mean, for the price that it is, I can't really complain. So I'm gonna approve this. All right, so next thing is the splash proof. It's quite clear that it is splash proof, not waterproof speaker. You'd think in the shower you'd want something a little bit more than splash proof, but I don't even think this is officially IP6 rated or has any IP rating, which is a water resistant rating that you'll find on like smartphones. It's got a nice big suction cup. You got the speakers at the bottom, which seems smart because then the water should be less likely to go in. USB-C, and it is rubber protected, and then it should be some RGB lighting. So let's see how it sounds. And although it does get quite loud, and you can use these as a control, so you've got the skipping function and the back button as well. It doesn't sound very good. It sounds really tinny. I don't know if it's because the speakers are at the bottom or if it's just a really poor quality speakers. I mean, for the shower, I guess it's okay because, you know, it's going to be right next to you. You don't have to put it that loud. And it's better than bringing in a phone because you can't bring a phone into the shower necessarily. But I wouldn't have this as a dual use speaker. Like I wouldn't be taking this back outside of the shower and using it in my room to kind of listen to music or anything else. It's not very good sounding. And even the suctioning pad. The thing is, you don't want this to be something that keeps slipping or coming off in the shower. It's just going to be more hassle than it's worth. So let's see if it actually does stick onto the wall of my shower. Otherwise, it's pretty much pointless, really. All right, so see if we can get that stuck. Maybe we can try like a mirror. Seems a little better. But actually it's whether it can actually stay hanging like that. So about 5 minutes later I had a thud and actually this had just fallen off. Honestly, you'd be better off just getting a good speaker, loud enough, leaving it in the bathroom but just outside of the actual shower. So I think the last thing we have is this mood light bar thing that I got. Wow, that is much lower quality than I thought it would be. So, you know, I was hoping to get maybe some lights that I could use for the desk, to use for my videos, or maybe you just use it like as an additional desk light. However, this is not filling me up with confidence so far. So I'll plug it into my power bank, and here's the multicolor remote. So you've got to turn it off, and then I can just set it to a fixed color. Pure white, and then we can do flashing, strobe, and it has a dimmable and brightening feature as well. The issue is though that even in its brightest form, it is really dim. Purely because it's just so dim and unusable, I'm going to have to pass on this one. I actually want to see inside to figure out how many LEDs are actually in here because it's really dim. So you've heard there are quite a few LEDs, and actually it's quite a bit brighter without this. This is taking like this is like a diffuser, so you don't see the individual LEDs, but it's actually removing most of the brightness at the same time. Alright guys, well thanks so much for watching. I'm trying really hard to make this not look like a big pile of trash. I'm definitely keeping the clock and a couple of the other items like this, but the rest might just have to be donated somewhere else. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and I'll keep doing these TEMU hauls. So with that, I'll see you on the next TKTech video.